I haven't gone anywhere since I moved in here. All of that's about to change right now because my sister said so, which is one of the perks that I've already noticed about moving back to a place where my family members are. So we're going to the movies now. I'm going to see, I think it's Love Notes, that's the name of the movie. And yeah. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Please, if you hear any noise in the background, bear with me. There's a construction going on in front of me, there's a cleaning going on behind me, and my neighbor's children are crying. All of these things are happening at the same time. When it first dawned on me that I was going to be moving back to my hometown, I already spent months filled with shame, fear, grief, pain, the feeling of being a failure, the feeling of not having the energy to start over, but then I have to. Even when I had moved on into house hunting, packing my bags, finally relocating back to Port Harcourt, and then moving into this place, I was still filled with pain and grief because when you had a plan and you were building up for it and everything just scatters and crumbles, you can't just say, Yay, I'm starting over. It's a messy journey. It's beautiful, but it's messy. A beautiful mess, I guess. But I had been there for such a long time, and I decided to do that. I would rather just be in the present. I would rather accept that this is what it is now, and what the way forward is to move on. And what better way to move on than to focus on the positives of my mood instead of focusing on the pain and the negatives. I like to leave the best for last, so we will take a few not so great things about me moving back here, and then I'll go straight into the positives. So number one not so great thing is the ghost of old connections. People who knew me from high school, from primary school, people who knew me when I would come back from uni and stay home for months. People who think that they know me or are trying to force me into the box of who I was when I'm slowly building who I am now. People who were not so keen about me moving to Abuja when I moved and have excuses or reasons now to scoff at me for coming back, we told you so, and now you're back. People who are judgmental and saying things like, where is your results? People who want physical results, and because I only have inward results at the moment, there is this idea that I'm coming back with nothing. That is a con. Second, not so great thing would be proximity to family, which is an irony because it is also a perk. But as a not so great thing, it would be me being even much closer to family. They now have like this glass, see me even much closer and tell me this is not how to act, this is how to act, this is what to do, this is not what to do. But the pressure of, okay, fine, you've moved back. So what's next? Start doing it now. Do it fast, do it fast. Not realizing that you have to calm down first. I have to recover from all of this overwhelm, all of the past few years, and relax before jumping into the next one before I burn out because I'm already burnt out. So I can't be burnt out on top of the burnt out again. That pressure is something that I don't really enjoy. I actually hate it, which is also one of the reasons why I decided that I was going to opt for staying alone. Even though I'm close proximity to them, I wanted to reduce how often they can see what I'm up to and what I'm not up to, what I'm doing and what I'm not doing, when I'm doing it and when I'm not doing it. The number one positive is also proximity to family. There's this thing about just knowing that there are people that will always be there for you. There are people that will always support you. There are people who have your best interest at heart, who have got your back. If you're broke, you know you can just run home. If you're hungry, you know you can just run home. And it's not like they've not always been there for me, but they are in closer proximity to me. I can run to them quicker than when I was in Abuja. For example, I just told my sister randomly that I'm exhausted, I'm bored, I'm tired, and I haven't gone out since I had moved in here. And she was like, okay, we're going to the movies, dress up. Like, that's it. We're going to the movies. Going to the movies is one of my sports. That's something I actually enjoy doing. So she was inviting me to an activity that I genuinely enjoy doing, and I was not doing it alone. I was doing it with her. So the past few years, I have been going to the movies, but I've been going to the movies alone. I've been going to church alone, going to restaurants alone, eat alone, slept alone, cleaned alone, watch TV alone. I didn't have a community. You have to be out to find community. And you have to be out often enough because even if you're doing marketing and you put out an ad and you spend money and all, it might reach 1,000 people and you only end up having like maybe 2 people as your conversion. So you have to be out and out and out, and that required money that I was not able to spend. I didn't really have friends in Abuja, mainly because a lot of friends are japping, and they keep japping in numbers. So just having family close by, like my sister is someone who can pop in here whenever she likes. Like this is my sister's house and I can do whatever I want. It's just nice to have. The second positive, which I would even say is the first, is an immediate reduced cost of living. The cost of living in Abuja is high. The cost of living in Nigeria is high, but it's relative. States to states differs, and the cost of living here in Port Harcourt is a lot lower. The house rent situation I had in Abuja required me to pay a certain amount of money in a moderate environment for a certain price. That same amount of money, you can use it to get a one-bedroom apartment in Port Harcourt in a moderate area as well. So it's a bit more reduced. Transportation as well is reduced. And when I talk about transport, that doesn't include the cab hailing app. It doesn't include Bolt. It doesn't include Uber. Because if you're using Bolt or Uber, I would say that Abuja is cheaper in that regard. The amount of money I will spend for a 15-minute journey in Abuja is what I spend for a 10 to 15 minute journey in Port Harcourt. But I'm talking about the public transportation system. It's very, very reduced, it's lower. And then the next perk would be food. Maybe it's because of how I grew up. I was brought up here, so there are preferences of food that I like from Port Harcourt. But the fact that I can just go out and find bole to eat, the fact that I can see fisherman soup, like seafoods everywhere, is interesting. It's awesome. It's lovely. It's also a situation where I may not be planning to cook anything, but last minute I'm like, oh, you know what? I think I want to make something. And I can just go on a very random stroll like this, and I would find yam, plantain, tomatoes, pepper, fish, meat, anything you're looking for. Like I could cook up a meal as quickly as I went out. In Abuja, because of how structured it is, you have to plan to go to the market. And going that far distance would also require that I bulk buy. So I can't just randomly go to the market and then just buy a couple of things and come back. I need to go tomorrow. So I have to plan myself. I love Abuja so much. I can't say anything negative about that place. I love a structured place. I love the wide roads. I love the quiet, the peace. The air there is fresher and everything. But one thing I missed while I was there is proximity to foodstuffs. Like the inability to just come out on my street and find one woman or one man selling plantain was absurd. I missed it a lot, and I'm happy that I'm finally enjoying that life here. Just a couple of days ago, I went to buy a bag of water, and it was sold for half the price of what I would buy it in Abuja. So we're still talking about the cost. We're talking about the cost of the food and accessibility to these foods. Everywhere is expensive, but relatively, Port Harcourt is cheaper in that regard. Another thing about accessibility is how I could randomly want to go shopping for fruits. Like I could be like, okay, I'm going to take a walk and I want to get fruits and end up coming back with my new pair of jeans. Like that's how everywhere just everything you're looking for is very, very accessible. It has given me the space to relax a bit because I was carrying a lot of financial pressure, financial burden and all. But now my financial responsibility is a bit lower, which brings me to my next positive, which is I can now exhale because even though I said that here feels unfamiliar, even though it's familiar, it still feels like home. It still feels like the last 5 years I had been in fight or flight mode and sometimes even in freeze mode. And now I can finally just reset here. I feel like my move here is more like a reset. It's me saying, okay, I can't keep fighting, I can't keep hurting, I can't keep doing this. I need to come back and just take a step back and regroup and restructure before I start anything else. So this stop in Port Harcourt, I think it's necessary and I'm really enjoying that because I wake up these days very late. I wake up by 12:30 to 1 p.m. and you would think that's a bad thing. But I think that's just my nervous system saying you can finally rest, you can finally exhale, you can sleep and regroup and recover, which makes me think that my move is not necessarily a pain for me because of I moved, but more because of the ghost of old connections and the scrutiny. So if there wasn't scrutiny and old connections, then I wouldn't have felt so bad about it because I mean these things happen. One place is not working, you're supposed to go to the next place. I think it's just running into people who I know who expect me to be a certain way or expect a certain result. So if I can reduce this scrutiny and this old connection issue to the minimum, I will definitely be enjoying my stay here. And I do believe I can do that. Like I said, I'm focusing on the positives because whatever you focus on grows. And I'd rather focus on these good sides. And you can see that the good sides are more than the bad sides. The bad sides are just like emotionally and mentally draining. And it's something that I can definitely set boundaries around and work through it. So yeah, this is where we are. I hope this is relatable to whomever it may concern at this very stage. If you just recently moved back to your hometown and you can at least pick out a few positives from there, maybe that will help your decision not be too overwhelming. And until the next video, I love you guys. Bye.